Hello everyone, so I've had a bit of a good day today on the K-type. I've got the number 2 flywheel key filed down and knocked in. Number 1 with this week's job. I've got a fuel tank egg kicking about, adapted for a petrol paraffin, because there's 2 returns, unlike straight petrol ones. Only there's a single return, there's 2 on this. The exhaust fitted. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a quick video on explaining how this vaporizer works. So there's a petrol and a paraffin side. For starting, you fill the petrol tank into the petrol bowl, which is a traditional float system. Just control the level, turn it to petrol on the left, and then prime the vaporizer through here. Because the fuel has got to run uphill, it's got to run from this bowl through this 3-way tap, up through the venturi where it starts the first part of vaporizing, and then across, and then through into the inlet. If you want to start it on paraffin, you can open up this here and then put a blow lamp on the tube that runs the full length of the vaporizer right across there. That's the access bung, which then goes into the inlet. So you can start these straight from paraffin, and then when it's hot enough, you turn it over to paraffin, which you then draw from the main pump up through that pipe into the bottom of the vaporizer bowl, where it's more traditional lister setup, where you've an inlet, an outlet into the 3-way tap, and then an overflow, which then goes straight back to the tank. That runs at a constant level where the outlet pipe's set, and it would just pump till it overflows there and it finds its natural level for the paraffin. In here, so what's in here is there's a jet that runs through. So it's a single jet which then fires into a rose cone sort of jet, which then directs it through into a brass cone, which then feeds it through in a part vaporized form into the inlet. One thing that's unusual about these is, I mentioned it has 2 returns, but it also has 2 air inlet ports. So this here is an air inlet port to create the flow of air through the vaporizer for the fuel to get pulled uphill, but it's a point where it can drag hot air through, because the exhaust comes through, warms all this, and then flows through the exhaust pipe. How you control the fuel is on this tap here. You would set that needle ever so slightly to control your fuel flow, but then you have this system here which controls the air. So there's a spring in there, which when you wind this up puts more tension on the spring, which when it causes the valve to work harder, causing the engine to suck more. When it's wound in, there's less pressure on the spring, so the valve can open and shut more freely. And then this here is a water injection valve. So what this does, it takes water from the inlet, from the hopper, through here, through a little valve where you can see it dripping through the glass and straight into the inlet. So petrol paraffin engines, when they're working hard, have a tendency to creak or knock, and the water adds a little bit of lubrication and stops that from happening. So hopefully that makes sense. Bit of luck this week, I'll have the magneto fitted, the keyway on number 1, I'll have it filled with oil, a gasket for the inspection door and ready for for a test run on the skids before I take it back to the shed, get it out of the way, and then bring the trolley in ready for working on. It's the same on the K's, M's, P's and Q's. The main difference is that it's all a bit bigger. These balls here are exactly the same. As you'll see on the top, that is a Q part number. This here is part of a Q Vaporizer Venturi. So you'll see it's a lot bigger in comparison. The inlet part is shorter, and the Venturi part where the fuel flows is a lot bigger. Yeah, I'll hopefully post a video next time we get running.